Guys, having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I wanted to come in here real quick and talk to you guys about something that some of you asked me about this. You sent me questions. You've gone to my website, boycewatkins.com, and sent me some of your thoughts on these issues. So I thought that I might address some of this. It has to do with Mr. Kobe Bryant. Now, most of you guys, I assume, know Kobe Bryant. He was a great basketball player and a pretty awesome philanthropist and human being, and just lived a good life, lived a great life. He was only around for 41 years, which I think was way too short for a man of his caliber and his determination. But Kobe got the best use out of his time. He chased his dream. He went hard for it, and he achieved that goal. And so anyway, do me a favor. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel, by the way. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you sign up, theblackfinancialchannel.com. If you're interested in Black financial news and information, as well as commentary on a daily basis, subscribe at theblackfinancialchannel.com. Also, please hit the thumbs up button. Okay, so let me dive into this conversation real quick so you guys can kind of see why I'm here and what I'm talking about. So Kobe Bryant, he's looking at his legacy of wealth is pretty interesting because I like opportunities to kind of discuss where money comes from, why rich people have more than other people do, what leads some of us to come up versus some that don't come up. Now, Kobe had a unique kind of existence in the sense that he was able to make a lot of money as an athlete. But what you must give him credit for, though, is the fact that Kobe was a guy who made smart decisions relative to other athletes. I know a lot of athletes who squander their money, who go broke. You see a lot of stories about athletes going broke, and they don't tell you about the athletes who never go broke. And so I think it's important, as we're telling stories about athletes that go broke, to also tell stories about athletes that don't go broke. I hope you're going to understand why I'm talking about this. So I'm not gossiping about Kobe's wealth. I'm not counting his money or anything like that. But what I am going to do is kind of break some of this down based on public reports so that you can kind of understand where wealth comes from. So hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button and all that good stuff. And this is brought to you by the Black Business School. So if you want to learn about wealth and money and all that stuff, go to theblackbusinessschool.com. You can get started for free. So this is according to Nikki Swift's website. It says Bryant retired in 2016 after a 20-year career, and he made a lot of money. And so according to Celebrity Net Worth, Bryant was worth $600 million when he died. $600 million. That says to me that given that Kobe was growing his money at a pretty good clip, he was learning from guys like Michael Jordan on how to grow money, who is absolutely a master at this. He was on his way to being a billionaire. And what's really interesting as well, this is important for you guys to understand, those who don't really think about money. The reason black folks don't have money is because we don't talk about money. We think that it's awkward or weird or disrespectful or no, you should talk about money all the time. You should talk about with your family, what's going to happen to my wealth when I die. If somebody dies, you got to figure out where the assets are so you can make sure that the assets are protected. Because when you die, the first thing that happens when you die is the government comes in and takes a big chunk of your money, right? The government's going to come in, and from a Kobe Bryant, they're looking to collect $50 to $100 million. If Kobe's sloppy at all, if he's caught slipping at all, they're going to get rich. Number two, the accountants, the courts, and the lawyers are going to come in and try to take $50 to $100 million. If you want to see a good example of that, go check out what happened to Aretha Franklin and Prince. Aretha Franklin and Prince made the grave mistake of dying without a will. And as a result, Aretha Franklin and Prince have contributed $70 to $100 million to white supremacy. I mean, they're robbing Prince blind. I mean, they're taking so much of his money. It's ridiculous. And so at the end of the day, if you're not talking about money in your family, then you're going to end up being victimized by a lack of planning. In fact, actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but 70% of all wealthy families lose all their wealth in one generation. 70%. So that means that even if you do the right things, you make the right choices, you build an empire, it doesn't matter. 70% of you are going to lose it all because you didn't plan, right? And then 90% of you will lose all your wealth within 2 generations. So the question is, how do you get into that 10% where you can actually have something for your grandkids and great grandkids? Well, it starts by getting rid of the taboo of talking about money. For some reason, families don't want to talk about money. Does anybody give me a yes or no if anybody has relatives that won't even talk about life insurance? Give me a yes or no in the chat if you have relatives that don't want to talk about where the assets are at, don't want to tell you nothing. They almost act like talking about death means that you're jinxing yourself, like somebody's going to die if you talk about death. Like grandma don't want to talk about it because she's too scared and all this. And I'm not making fun of those individuals, but what I am saying is what happens is death always comes. Death don't give a shit if you're scared or not. Death doesn't care if you thought you're going to live forever. Death does not care if you made no plans. Death does not care what you got to do on Tuesday. When Kobe Bryant went down in a helicopter, I doubt when he woke up that morning, he thought that he was going to be going down in a helicopter that day. But as the smart man does, he already had things in place. I guarantee you, from what I'm gathering, Kobe had his estate plan in place. He had a will in place. He had insurance in place, and he had plans, and because here's the other thing too. Kobe and a lot of wealthy people, they were flying helicopters a lot. And the more money you get, the more you're open to liability. And so when I saw that helicopter went down, my first reaction obviously was the sadness to see this brother go down. I hated that. It just was such a waste. It was so sad. But the second thought I had was, I said, ooh, a lot of lawsuits are going to get filed. When 9 people die in a helicopter, the lawyers are like this. The lawyers, I mean, it sounds crazy, but this is the world you live in. The lawyers were licking their chops. They're like, wait a minute, a rich guy was flying his friends, 8 of his best friends in a helicopter, and the helicopter went down. Whew. That's money for them. They're thinking that. It sucks. I know some of y'all don't like it. And some of y'all who want to stay broke, who don't want to hear these conversations, shouldn't be here, right? People that think, oh, it's disrespectful to talk about money or somebody just died. Well, no, there are a lot of people talking about this, and they're plotting on how they're going to take your family wealth. And so if give you an example, in our household, I talk all the time to my wife to be about what would happen if I die. We travel a lot. We get on airplanes. And so it would be stupid of me to not have a plan in case something happened to us if we were both on the same airplane and that damn plane went down. What's going to happen to the kids? What's going to happen to the house? What's going to happen to the money? Okay, baby, if something happens to me on a trip, here's how you get into my bank accounts so that you can make sure you have instant access to my money. So the courts aren't holding up my money for 6 months while they decide whether or not you should actually have access to it. Like, seriously. So anyway, let me keep going. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button and share button. All right. So, and if you're on Twitter, please retweet this conversation, because people don't have these conversations enough. So according to Celebrity Net Worth, Bryant was worth about $600 million. He made about $323 million from playing basketball. According to Bleacher Report, Bryant signed a $10 million deal with McDonald's in 2001 and 2003. The Wall Street Journal reported that Bryant signed a 4-year, $40 million deal with Nike, which he landed after a reported $8 million buyout of his former shoe contract with Adidas Salomon AG of Germany. Yes, you read that right. Bryant was so wealthy back in the early 2000s, he had the money to toss away $8 million to chase a $40 million deal. And McDonald's and Nike are just 2 of Bryant's countless partnerships. In endorsement deals alone, Celebrity Net Worth estimates that Bryant brought in $350 million. Even though the amount of money that Bryant amassed over his lifetime is incredible, how he used the money is even more impressive. While Bryant certainly enjoyed the lifestyle of an NBA star worth millions of dollars, Bryant was definitely a fan of spreading the wealth. Over the years, the Lakers legend undoubtedly made a difference both on and off the court. In 2011, he and his wife, Vanessa, launched the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation, an initiative aimed at eliminating youth homelessness in LA. Since its inception, the foundation has donated millions to various programs and organizations. In 2014, the foundation donated $20,000 to Kids in Sports Los Angeles to provide sports opportunities to vulnerable youth. Through the foundation, Bryant became a founding donor for the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture after donating between $1 and $2 million. The legendary baller was clearly proud to be part of something bigger than himself. In 2016, ahead of the museum's opening, Bryant tweeted, "Go see this museum. There is no greater testament to this country than the stories in this building." It is clear that the foundation allowed Bryant to support initiatives and organizations that meant a lot to him. Let's see here. About a month before his helicopter crash, the Roseville High School basketball team, girls basketball team in Roseville, California, received a $5,000 donation from Kobe and Vanessa Bryant. According to the news outlets, the team's 14-year-old point guard, Lane Madrid, was the one who reached out to Bryant for help on behalf of the team, seeing as how Kobe Bryant's 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, was an aspiring basketball player herself. So let's see. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So let's talk about this just real quick in terms of what I'm seeing here. What I'm seeing here is that, the brother was smart with his money. He wasn't an athlete that was ever going to go broke. He also is doing what a lot of athletes are doing now, which is investing in things outside of basketball. You see, capital is how people make money. Go watch this documentary called Explained on Netflix. It's called Explained. And in this documentary, they explain the wealth gap and why wealthy people get so wealthy and why everyone else kind of stays where they are. The reason that wealthy people become wealthy or stay wealthy is because they tend to put their resources toward the creation of capital. Capital is something that makes money without you necessarily actually having to go up, get out and work for it every day. Now, you are capital, actually. You are what is called human capital. Your labor is human capital. The problem with human capital is it depletes. It's like a banana in your refrigerator. Bananas don't last forever. They go stale after about a week. Right. So your body doesn't last forever. It goes stale after, a few decades. Right. Or if you're a basketball player, you're very high value capital as an athlete because you can make money with your body, but that can't last forever. So Kobe knew that his body was depleting capital. So what Kobe did, which was smart, which is what LeBron's doing, which is what Steph Curry's doing, what Andre Iguodala is an expert at doing, is they are investing their money into capital that does not deplete. So they're taking the money they're making as a basketball player and they're moving it into other forms of capital like real estate and tech companies and startup companies and all these other things that will make money long after they stop playing basketball. And so that's why many of these guys, like the Iguodalas and the LeBron Jameses and stuff like that, these are guys that it would surprise the hell out of me if these guys ever went broke because they're actually putting their capital in places where the value is actually going to go up as opposed to going down. And it's going to last for a very long time. So Kobe Bryant made good choices. It seems to me like he left his family in good shape. The best part of the legacy, because we're all going to pass at some point, the best part of his legacy is that there are people that are going to live well in the future because of his contribution. He seemed to have his affairs in order. He had his attorneys and his accountants on, watching his finances. And he did kind of the opposite of what Antoine Walker did. Antoine Walker lost it all. He lost $110 million, but Antoine didn't actually lose $110 million. The amount he actually lost was closer to $1 billion because $110 million, if invested properly, is supposed to grow to at least $500 million by the time you get done. And maybe $1 billion if you're smart, like a Michael Jordan was, right? So guys like Michael Jordan, they make more money than they ever did playing basketball. Guys like Kobe Bryant will probably making more money than he ever did playing basketball. Guys like LeBron James will make more money after retirement than he makes playing basketball. Shaquille O'Neal makes more money now than he made playing basketball. Magic Johnson makes more money now than he made playing basketball. These are the smart investors that are out there because what they did was they learned how to do what I might call the cosmic flip, right? We hear about dope dealers doing the flip, like I'm gonna flip a bird and turn a gram into a key and a key into a whatever. You know what I'm talking? You hear those rap songs like rappers talking about flipping. And they're doing these flips like, 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10. Well, these guys are doing major flips. They're flipping human capital into sustainable capital. They're flipping a one-time opportunity into a multi-generational situation, right? They're flipping a 10-year basketball career into a 300-year legacy for their family. Those are the smart guys, and I applaud them for this. And I think it's very, very important to talk about this because while you're sitting around whining and mourning over Kobe's death, which we all, have had time to do that, you got to really think about those dollars and cents because believe me, those white folks oppressing you, those white folks stealing that 1.3 trillion that you got in your community, they're always thinking dollars and cents, and they're playing chess, not checkers. And that's why they end up a step ahead of you as a community because we spend too much time on the emotionality or social justice or do you like me or you're a racist or you're being mean to me. And they're sitting around saying, I don't care if you're mean to me or not, as long as I got the most money. I don't care if you like me or not, as long as I own the real estate. I don't care if you think I'm a good person or a bad person because I'm your boss. So it doesn't matter. I'd rather be feared than loved. So for Black people, we got to learn how to shift our thinking and grow into what I call economic maturity, which is where you don't think that it makes sense to spend all your money on movie tickets and Air Jordans and going to concerts and seeing the next Black Panther movie. You're also thinking about making sure that you're investing as much as you're spending. So I'm not telling you not to spend. I'm just saying make sure you invest as much as you spend. That's what a wealth builder does. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to go, guys. Do me a favor. favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, retweet this. Also, join the Black Business School, theblackbusinessschool.com. That's where you can go. You can get started for free. Take a look at some of the curricula that we have on wealth building. I have a stock market investing class. A lot of you ask me how to invest in the stock market. I have 100 hours of content right there that you can go through that will teach you everything you want to know about investing, and it doesn't cost you much. It costs like $3 a day. So feel free to go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, THE. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. And if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, you can go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Okay, guys, so I'm out of here. Have a good day. It was great talking to you, and thanks for listening. I'll see you soon. Love you guys. Peace.